Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here, and today we'll be checking out Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. This is a standalone expansion to Far Cry 3. The game features blood dragons, which are giant laser shooting dinosaurs. That guy right there, that is a blood dragon. So it's a standalone expansion to Far Cry 3. It's generally the same game in the sense that the gameplay mechanics are the same. The way that you interact with the world and engage in combat, it's all the same, but it is sort of a streamlined version. It's also in an entirely new setting, and once again, features friggin' blood dragons. So it's an entirely new setting. This is actually an 80s version of the future, specifically an 80s interpretation of what 2007 was going to be like. And it's based off of 1980s sci-fi action films, things like The Terminator and Aliens and things like that. Just films, sci-fi action films from the 80s, that is where the inspiration is drawn from for this game, and that is where the plot is sort of taking its influence from. So what I'm going to do here in this video is show you guys a bit of gameplay to give you a good idea of what Blood Dragon's all about. Now once again, it's the same gameplay mechanics but rather streamlined. And here we go, we got a Blood Dragon, but he's got a mind control thing on his helmet and on his face. So we're gonna try to shoot that off here. All right, this gun's not working so much. Why don't we switch it to this bad boy? All right, so I'm gonna shoot that thing off of his face, and what that'll do is it'll make it so that he will attack these bad guys now too. And these bad guys, oh, they're Omega Force. And what are they trying to do? Well, obviously they're trying to destroy the world, and I am trying to stop them from doing that. Alright, so now that we shot that mind control thing off of his helm, the Blood Dragon's gonna attack the bad guys as well. But since they're also gonna attack me, I think I'm gonna pull back here to the safety of the overshield in our base. Although I still want to show you guys some laser shooting dinosaurs, so shoot your laser at me, please. Come on, shoot your laser, shoot your laser. It's so hilarious. Alright, so we're going to go into the safety of our overshield here, and with that, to the Blood Dragons, they're just going to... Yeah, well, he can still shoot his laser, but I'm pretty sure he can't come in here, at least I believe so anyways. So these are scattered throughout the island, and the game takes place on an island. It's obviously not the same island as what we saw in Far Cry 3, but it's an island nonetheless, and it's, again, generally the same. We've got various little hunting spots, and there are side missions beyond the main mission, and those side missions consist of hostage rescue as well as hunting missions. Outposts that are controlled by Omega Force can be taken over, just like you could take over outposts from the island pirates in the original Far Cry 3. And when you take over each outpost, you're going to be given a side mission. You'll also be given a store in which you can purchase ammunition and get upgrades and things like that. Now again, I mentioned it's a streamlined version of the game, and the reason I say that is because there is still like a progression and a level system, but you don't have as much agency in it. You don't have as many choices and decisions to be made. Basically, you level up and you get these predetermined upgrades, and that is that. You can't go much beyond that. There's no really decision making in terms of what upgrades you get when. And now we got these little cyber hearts things that we can use to distract the Blood Dragons, and then try to shoot this weak spot in their chest here. And that's what we'll be doing there. Let me switch to another weapon that starts firing a little bit sooner here. Okay, so yes, we can kill these Blood Dragons. I've just been avoiding them because I wanted you to see their awesome lasers. Alright, so we throw a cyber heart, and these are things that we pick up from the cyborgs that we're killing in the world as we do our quest and stuff and take over Outpost. And this should cause him to rear up here. It's supposed to anyway, so that I can shoot his underbelly. Okay. Please, go over there. Rear up. You're supposed to... Damn it, you're supposed to rear up. Oh man, Blood Dragons. I'm pretty sure I can still just shoot them as well, but... They're a handful. Alright, so I think what I would like to do, and what I'd like to focus on here, is show you guys two things. Number one, I'd like to show you the capturing of an outpost, and the second thing is I'd like to show you a little bit of a quest story. So we're going to go to one of these outposts. You can see I've captured 4 of them so far. And in this first one, I did the side missions. In these other ones over here, however, I haven't. There's a hunting mission there, a hostage rescue mission there, and a hunting mission there, which would just send you out in the surrounding area to either save someone or hunt a particular animal. So we're going to move over to, our quest is right down here, the main story quest. So why don't we move over and try to take this garrison, and then we'll move to that quest. And just to give you guys a bit of gameplay and show you a bit what it's about. There's also collectibles, just like there was in the original Far Cry 3. You can collect TV sets, notes from Dr. Carolyn, as well as VHS tapes, of course, because, hey, it's the 1980s vision of the future. And in the 1980s, they didn't think anything beyond VHS would happen, so why would they have anything beyond VHS tapes? And to get down there, I'd actually like to take this glider over here. So let's first go to the glider, which is located right over there. And the Blood Dragon is now chilling out. He's changed color to yellow, and he will eventually, once he's really chilled, change color to green, and then he's just sort of doing whatever. But yes, you can kill them, and like I showed you briefly, it's all about trying to get and attack their underbelly. But I don't want to sit here for 100 hours and try to deal with him. I just want to go up to the hang glider and glide my way to safety. So I'm going to throw a heart to distract him over here. And he should turn around briefly to go for that. Enough time for me to move over to the hang glider and move down to show you guys some combat. So everything that you could do in Far Cry 3, we're talking about takedowns, we're talking about distracting people, the same sort of stealth mechanics. Everything plays out the same. You just can't really progress in your chosen manner. That is all decided for you. How you progress, what skills you pick up when, everything like that. Alright, so we're going to be trying to move to the other side of this mountain here, so I'm going to go in this direction and move on around there. Now after I show you the taking of the outpost, I'll show you the level progression system just so you can see what I'm talking about. But in Far Cry 3 proper, the original game, you know, there were different skill trees and you could select sort of what you wanted to specialize in. I believe there are 3 trees from what I recall. In this one, it's just every single level that you get, you've got a predetermined upgrade, whether it be another health slot, or a certain takedown, or whatever, upgrades for certain weapons, stuff like that. Alright, so we got a Blood Dragon right outside of this, actually no, he's not that close to the camp. It's really good when you've got a Blood Dragon right outside one of the camps, because what you can do is you can use these cyber hearts to lure them towards the camp, and have them actually take out most of the guards for you, which is pretty fantastic. Alright, so here we go, we are at a Omega controlled outpost with the goal now of taking it over ourselves. So let me case out the place first, see if we've got anything special that we can do. You know, trying to disable the alarms in the outpost is again a thing here in Blood Dragon, just like it was in Far Cry 3. Besides doing that, you can try to disable the generators surrounding it, which keep the Blood Dragons at bay, or you can just lure Blood Dragon over by throwing one of the Cyber Hearts. So I've got a few different choices in terms of how I'd like to go about this. And yes, you can still play stealthy by going bow and arrow, or silenced weapon, or just straight up takedowns. Now when you engage with a person, rather than just searching them for money and ammo, you actually rip their heart out. It's a cyber heart though, don't worry, these are cyborgs. And you rip their heart out, and again, those are the hearts that I'm using to lure Blood Dragons, or to rather keep them away in certain instances. Because I'm going to go on top of this hill first to do 2 things. To check to see if there's any surrounding Blood Dragons, and if not, then I'm just going to... Oh no, Panther. Okay, he's done. No skinning, because there is no crafting system in Blood Dragon. Again, just think of this as a streamlined version of Far Cry 3. There's no crafting system, nothing like that. Okay, so we got a few guys over there, and I don't see any surrounding Blood Dragon, so it looks like I'm going to have to... I'm going to be on my own in terms of taking this place down. I won't have the support of a giant laser shooting dragon. I will not have the support of that particular thing. Alright, so I'm going to take these 2 guys down first, and then we'll be moving on in. Wonderful. Alright, those 2 guys are done. Let me go ahead and Take their hearts out. Yes. And you can also see you'll be picking up ammunition or money with them as well. Like that time I got a cyber heart plus some money. And the last time I got some rounds for one of my weapons. The weapons I currently have equipped, I've got basically what is an assault rifle. I've got this giant like Gatling gun. I have got a sniper rifle and a bow and arrow. Of course, these are all futuristic versions of the things that I just mentioned. Because we're in 2007, and this is what the future looks like, according to the 80s. There's a lot of guys in this one. Typically, I don't know, typically there aren't that many guys. Now, it's placed on an island. We've got trees and rocks and stuff like that, but clearly the landscape is much different. Neon lights everywhere. You'll notice the lines jetting across the screen. That's supposed to sort of coincide with the technology of the time. That's why it's there. It's not so much because they felt like, yeah, let's put lines across the screen because that looks good. It's more of a themed thing, and you know, it's pretty hilarious. And there was a lot of really really great humor in this game. If you you didn't even have to have grown up in the 80s. Even if you were born in the 80s or the 90s, if you've just seen 80s films at any point, there is some humor to be had. Okay, so I'd like to try to take out these guys without getting noticed. So what I need to do, I think, is going to be this guy first. And then we can go with this guy here. So again, the takedowns, the deaths from above, all that stuff is present. And I think I've been silent so far. I don't think that anyone has noticed me so far, so we're doing pretty good. Melee kill is with F. However, if there's no one to melee kill, sometimes you'll just flip the middle cyborg finger, because why not? Because why wouldn't you flip the middle cyborg finger? And that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that's absolutely hilarious. In fact, one of the funniest things I think that I enjoyed the most here. I'm trying to actually look for where is the. I want to briefly check to see if I can find. Whoa. Oh, there's a fight there between Scientist and the Omega Force. So Scientist, or as they like to call them a lot in this game, nerds. The nerds in this game are your friends. They're basically the allied forces on the island. So one of the funniest things that I found here was actually the game's tutorial. So right after you begin with an opening mission, and then you go into the tutorial. And the main character that we play as here, who is Sargent Rex Colt, he got so angry that he had to do a tutorial. He was just constantly swearing, saying how stupid it was and a waste of time, and how he just wanted to kill things. And I mean, that was just a riot. Not only does it fit in line sort of with the attitude of characters in film from the 80s sci-fi action flicks, but it also just was funny because it's very self-aware of the fact that, hey, this is a video game, and hey, it's kind of funny that we're doing these things. But alright, so I just got a few more guys in this outpost to take out, and so long as I don't trigger any alarms, then they won't be calling for reinforcements, and the outpost will be mine. So I'll be trying to do this as best as possible. You know what I'm going to do? I don't know if they're going to have time to run to an alarm, so we're going to go Gatling gun in their face. Ready? Here we go. And I think if those were the last three, yes they were the last three. The outpost is ours. Beautiful. So just like in Far Cry 3 proper, you kill all the guys within an outpost, the outpost becomes yours. Your forces will take it over, so in this case the Scientist. And now the surrounding area on the map is no longer patrolled by the Omega Force. So there's a few more outposts that I've yet to capture here on this island. And just so you know, at this point, I finished, I think, 4 or 5 story missions, and I've taken these 5 outposts, and this is after, this is after 2 to 3 hours right now. So there's still a few more outposts for me to take, and I don't know how much more of the story mission there is, but I've only done a handful of them so far. So now that we've taken this outpost, I'd like to go ahead and show you that. Let me just quickly show you where you would pick up the side quest as well as the store there. And then I would also like to take a quick look at the level progression, and it will be very quick because, again, there's no there's no agency. I've got no choice in terms of what I get when I level up. It's all determined for me. Alright, so this is the store. You don't go, normally in Far Cry 3, you go into a building. This time you just walk up to this little vending machine thing. And within this, you can purchase ammunition, you can take a look at weapons and consumables. So we can go up to ammo and we can go refill all. It costs a lot because I'm running with the Terror 4000, which is that Gatling gun, and that's, well, it's just very expensive to refill that ammunition. You can also do refill for your grenades and flamer fuel canisters, arrows, etc., etc., etc. All those stuff individually or just refill inventory. So the weapons here, we've got a few different weapons. I own everything at the moment. I'm not sure if there's more weapons to unlock in the game, but you can see I own everything besides what I have equipped. And besides the 4 that I have equipped that I showed you, there's also this pistol here. Got a silencer on it. Look at that. Looks so plastic and fake. But hey, 80s. I also have a shotgun available and a flamethrower. But I'm going to stick with the equipment loadout that I have here. And then there are consumables as well, so we can do things like purchase body armor. Purchase nanoprobes, don't really care to do that. You can also purchase the map scans. Let me buy the map scan here for the northwest. I already purchased the northeast, and that is going to reveal all of the collectibles in the area. So I originally had all of the northeast, and then I just purchased the northwest. And so now all the collectibles in the area, the TV sets, the VHS tapes, and Dr. Carly's notes, those are all now displayed. So if you wanted to collect those, you could. Collectibles, nothing that I typically care about unless there's some sort of tangible benefit to that in game, but I don't believe there is, so I'm not going to bother with that. And then let me just show you the hostage rescue thing. So you'll move up to these little displays here, and you get to pick up a side quest. And when you decide to do side quest, which I won't be doing here because I like to just show you a little bit of the next main quest, it'll give you a side quest, it'll give you an objective, and what you get as a reward from that is CP, which is essentially XP for leveling up, money, and then an upgrade for one of your weapons. So every time you do one of the side quests, you get those 3 things: money, XP, and an upgrade for one of your weapons. Okay, so now that we've covered all that, before we go ahead and move to the next main quest, which is right over here, I will just show you the level system in this game. So, skills. So what happens, you can see I'm level 16 right now. Every single level, the upgrade, like I said, is predetermined for you. So let's take a look at my current range, which is 14 to 17. I am level 16. So at 14, I got an extra health bar slot. At 15, I got a heavy beatdown, allowing me to melee kill heavy gunners or flamers. I got an extra health bar at 16. At the next level, 17, I will get a nano expert basic repair, which will allow me to repair 4 basic slots when I'm out of nano meds. So it allows me to repair more of those health bars when I don't have any instant nano med to fully repair my health. So that is that. I mean, again, no decision making to be had. There's a data console, which will show you statistics for your playthrough. It'll give you research data that you found, collectibles, just a recap of your basic training, and then a user manual as well. Obviously, none of that stuff you guys want to see, but that is it. That is basically what the game's all about. I mean, it's just a streamlined version of Far Cry 3. And I say just, but I think that's a pretty good deal. I mean, this is severely discounted compared to Far Cry 3. It is a much cheaper experience, and it's just hilarious as well because we're in this neon 80s inspired world with laser shooting dragons and oh man, it's been really fun. It's been quite comical. I would say definitely a lot more so than Far Cry 3 proper. And I've really enjoyed it.
It only opens for the worthy. The area has some remarkable properties. Dragon blood becomes supercharged inside it, leading me to suspect it's a ley line hub, if you believe in Lockyer's theories of solstice alignments, and thus rife with energy output. Be careful, Rex. That place is filled with death.
What kind of death?
The dangerous kind, Rex.
Do you see what I'm talking about? What kind of, the dangerous kind of death? Like, it's just hilarious. It is just hilarious. And now we're going into a quest area in which I'm about to leave the open world behind. Oh no.
Only those who survive the labyrinth of blood are worthy of the prize.
What happened to my gear?
Unknown.
Prepare for combat!
Oh my.
Whoa.
Weapons located.
This is great. I just think this is absolutely fantastic. If you played Far Cry 3, and even if you didn't play Far Cry 3, I think Blood Dragon offers a pretty hilarious and awesome experience. It's not as fully fleshed out and featured as Far Cry 3 is, but
Running dead. Outbound.
but it's really funny, and it's got all of the necessary gameplay elements. You know, it's got all of the combat mechanics and everything that you really need, and we've got Running Dead too. Because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have Running Dead with green eyes and
Running dead in the head.
Hello. I've killed them before.
shoot Running Dead in the head? I don't know. I really like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. And if you like what you've seen here, then I would suggest picking it up. This is also coming from a guy who really loved Far Cry 3 as well, so the fact that this just holds on to those gameplay mechanics and throws it into this ridiculous over-the-top world, that's just fantastic for me, so. Wow, fantastic. Fantastic shooting. Alright guys, well, I think we're going to wrap this up. Once again, this has been Forrest looking at Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, the standalone expansion to Far Cry 3 inspired by 80s sci-fi action films. And just completely over-the-top, absurd, and downright hilarious at times. And well, it's been pretty fun for me. So, thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.
Rex, are you doing okay after that EMP surge?
Good as new, Doc. There's no challenge I can't beat.
I don't know, Rex. I'm pretty unstoppable in the Bishop of Battle.
Doc, you play video games?
Yes, Rex. Video games are a proven coping mechanism, like any hobby. They've been shown to improve hand-eye coordination, problem-solving, social interaction, and self-confidence. And no studies have managed to prove a correlation between video games and violence. Frankly, anyone who thinks games are bad for you is a fucking idiot.
Hey, whoa, Doc.